Don't forget to donate to the hashtag Daytona Dream 2019 GoFundMe for your chance in January to win one of these 3 Kevin Harvick diecast. Now enjoy the video. Good evening, everybody, and welcome here as we get ready to finish out the regular season of the Skittles Super Speedway Series with race number 15 of Division 2. It's time to determine who are going to be the 8 drivers this season that will represent for Division 2 in this season's chase for the championship. Division 1 took place last night. We know the 8 drivers in that division that will be battling for the championship, but we got to finish out the final half of that grid and find out who are going to be those 8 drivers here tonight as we prepare for 26 laps of racing here tonight under the lights at the backwards, if you will, Orlando Super Speedway. Now, last night it was kind of easy to be able to determine who the 8 drivers were going to be because of 2 reasons. Number 1, we ended up having a number of multi-time winners, so the grid wasn't exactly that spread out. And 2, we had 2 big wrecks take place in the first 10 laps of that race. We finished out the race with only 8 drivers on track. We had only 10 drivers by the time we got to halfway. Will we see something like that here tonight, or will we actually see a little bit cleaner racing? I'm not so sure about that. It's the regular season finale. Everybody's pulling out the stops, making the last-ditch effort they possibly can to get into the playoffs. I think that the aggressive level is going to be turned up to over 110%. As on the pole position is Alex Gray in the 0-8. Now, Alex Gray comes into this race currently 18th in the point standings. If he could leave with a win, mathematically has a shot to get himself into the playoffs. We'll have to see if this starting track position will keep him ahead of any mayhem that may take place during the course of this race, and if it could get him a last-minute trip to victory lane and a last-minute ticket into the playoffs. Let's go down and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And so as the command is given, let's give you what the playoff grid currently looks like coming into this race. The only driver right now that has 2 wins is automatically locked in is Charles Sandfer. However, we do know of 5 other drivers that are also locked into the playoffs with a win based on where they are in the point standings coming into this race. They would include Fury Gamington, Nathan Stapleton, Jeff Scott, who are 1, 2, 3 in points, John Andrews 5th in the standings, and Keith Batson, who is in 9th. Now, those drivers all currently are locked in. It's the 7th and 8th seed that we really have to keep track of here tonight. Drivers Alex Benyacko and Eric Sadler. They are 14th and 15th in the points, and both could kind of jostle that 8th position in the playoff grid back and forth with each other as they are only separated by 4 points. Now, who do they have to worry about tonight? Well, they have to worry about drivers that have a win this season that could pass them in the point standings. The only driver right now that fits that criteria is Vince Almariego. He comes into this race a total of 16 points behind Alex Benyacko and 12 points rather, behind Eric Sadler. The next thing they have to worry about is drivers that have a win this season behind them in points that could get their 2nd win and leapfrog them. Vince Almariego would fit that, as would Caleb Farrell, Sedale Salera, and William Brock, even possibly Nathan Ormond if he can move back into the top 30 in points with a win. And last but not least, what do they have to worry about? Drivers ahead of them in the point standings that are still for their first win. If they find victory lane, they automatically are in. Jack Hallec fits that criteria, as do William Flickinger, Carson Gum, Michael Norman, Dillon Young, and Tristen Allen, and maybe a couple of long shots like Oneal Balvin, Jordan Lopes, the aforementioned pole sitter Alex Gray, and Simon Bloomfield. But it's really all going to depend on how it shakes out during the course of this race. Not much of a regular season championship battle. Fury Gamington 30 points in hand over Nathan Stapleton. Basically, Gamington has to finish dead last or way down in the field, and Stapleton, Scott, Hallec have to still be in the race to have a ghost of a shot, but it might be a must-win situation for them to win the regular season championship, as we are green flag racing here tonight at Orlando. So who's going to survive? As I said, 2 big wrecks in the first 7 laps of last night's race took out 30 competitors. Will we see something like that here tonight? These guys obviously didn't learn anything from the Division 1 race. They're already 5 wide for about the 5th position. That's Tristen Allen up the middle. They settle it back out to 4 wide. Now 3 wide towards the front, but they're 4 wide still there with Trey Wright right down the bottom. Look at this, leaning on each other, banging doors. Rob Evans and Oneal Balvin. As Jake Galloway trying to swing around the outside, he will take the lead. They're 5 wide, almost 6 wide back here, just inside the top 10. That's Charles Sandfer in the middle. Eric Sadler there as well. Levi McIntire, contact! There goes the 96 of Caleb Farrell around. Benny Watson spins. Norman, Gamington, they all spin. Caution is out. They are 5 wide, 2 rows deep, crossing the line. Oh, I hope they can settle this out and not wreck under caution. They do! Sadler spins. I think he's the only one, though. Oh, we dodged a bullet there. I don't think really anybody got much damage out of that. McIntire almost spun. Sadler crossed the line in 10th. He will be allowed to get that position back as Jake Galloway leads us under our first yellow. And now let's see who was involved in the wreck. Whose championship hopes could be dashed. There is Josh Drake. Oh, Jeff Scott. He will not challenge for the regular season championship. His night looks like it's over. He's locked into the playoffs, however. Alexander Rowe is damaged. There's Eric Sadler. Fury Gamington saw that he got spun out. Well, Eric Sadler's got a lot of damage. That whole right rear quarter panel is gone. I don't know who he got hit by. Oh, Jack Hallec, one of the drivers that could have gotten into the playoffs with a win. 4th in the standings coming into this race. He's on the apron. And I think that was Vince Almariego up ahead there. He's got damage. Michael Norman's got damage. Adam Garcia there in the 29. He's on the apron. He was collected up in it. I think, if I recall, I think he was one of the first cars I saw get out of shape. He might have been the one that hooked Caleb Farrell, and this is something we're going to see as well with these cautions. Drivers rolling the dice, some of them staying out, some of them coming to pit road. Came down to a fuel strategy call in last night's race. Rob Evans will stay out. He'll be the leader when we go back green. Take a look who's up now in 3rd. Alex Benyacko trying to ensure his spot in the playoffs as Eric Sadler has encountered issues here tonight. So it could be Eric Sadler on the bubble spot as he is out of the race. So yes, it will be Eric Sadler for sure now on the bubble spot. On whether or not he will make it into the playoffs this season or not, the Talladega race winner going to be on pins and needles for the remainder of this race as we go back and see what brought out the caution for the first time here tonight at Orlando. This is going to start with our Daytona winner, 96 of Caleb Farrell, who's in a 4 wide position. Watch the top side of the track. I think Keith Batson might hook Adam Garcia. Yep, that's exactly what happens. And Garcia goes down to Fitzwater. Fitzwater down to Farrell. He bounces off Cody Llamas. That sends him around, and then a little contact right here between teammates. Jesse Turner and Benny Watson's going to spin the 79 around. And then up ahead, Fury Gamington, he got tagged by Fitzwater, but I don't know if it was necessarily Fitzwater that started the wreck. Oh, Carson Gum got a piece of that there in the 19. I didn't see that. There is Jeff Scott. Norman's going to get clobbered by Josh Drake. Alexander Rowe involved there as well. Sedale Salera, Jeff Scott. There's Jack Hallec on the right side of your screen. John Andrews sneaks through, as does Shelly. There's where Vince Almariego got his contact. He ran into the 13. William Flickinger also with some damage as Gamington goes spinning through the grass. And I think right here is going to be another shot for the 35. Yep. He gets into Josh Drake again. Somebody else spinning up here again, further up. I think that might have been the 30 of Sedale Salera. Simon Salera there as well, got involved in the 4. And then we're going to move up here. I don't know if the wreck's already taken place. Yeah, it did. There's the contact with Eric Sadler. And we're going to go back just a little ways and look at this because I want to know how that whole right rear got ripped off. There's the contact. Levi McIntire, Jordan Lopes sends Lopes into Sadler. And I thought we were going to have more cars wreck. Levi McIntire did a good job keeping that car from spinning. Look at this, right down in front of Nathan Stapleton. And he manages to save it. Sadler spins out. Everybody's going to split him. And who is the car that hits him? Because you can see at this point, that right rear quarter panel is still intact. So somebody apparently comes by and is going to rip it off. And I was trying to see if there was anybody that was smoking or at least missing their left front fender, and I didn't see anyone. So this replay will give us the idea of who it was. Sadler going to bring it back up on the track with oncoming traffic. Not exactly sure that was the wisest decision, but it was his choice, and it could very well end up costing him a spot in the playoffs as a result. Oh, William Flickinger, is he going to be the one? Yep, right there. So the 44 of Flickinger, who was already involved in the first wreck, that ends his day. Look at Michael Norman split the gap there, and Eric Sadler is going to end his day as well. Flickinger 6th in the points. A win would have locked him into the playoffs, and Eric Sadler was just trying to finish consistent. Right there, that 56 of Vince Almariego going by. We're going to have to see if he continues or not, because he could be the guy that might be the one to snatch away the final playoff position from Eric Sadler. Lights out atop the pace car. Rob Evans is the race leader. Rob Evans, however, coming into this race is not points-wise eligible with a win to make it into the playoffs, as he is dead last in the standings coming into this race, but trying to finish out the regular season with a win. Let's take a look and see who's out of the race up to this point. And we got more drivers out of the race in the first wreck tonight than we had in last night. Last night, I think only 5 drivers retired out of the race. We've got 9 drivers out in this one. And this is going to make it very interesting, because remember Eric Sadler, we knew he was out of the race, and it all depended about Vince Almariego, where he was going to finish. Vince Almariego's out of the race as well. He'll finish in 32nd. So Almariego, that's his playoff hopes gone. Same for Jack Hallec. He could have made it in via points and a win. He's 33rd for tonight's race. Alexander Rowe is out. Fury Gamington is going to finish in 35th. So there is a slight chance that he might not be the regular season champion. The only driver that's got a shot at him now is Nathan Stapleton. So we'll keep tabs on the 72 here tonight. Eric Sadler out of the race. Is that his championship hopes over? We'll have to wait and see. He does not need a different driver to go to victory lane here tonight that's either ahead or within the vicinity of him points-wise. Then you got Adam Garcia, William Flickinger, Jeff Scott. Well, he'll make it to the playoffs, but he will not win the regular season championship. He's out in 39th, and 40th is Josh Drake. So where is Stapleton going to restart? Stapleton restarts this race from the 8th position, up inside of the top 10. So we'll have to see if he's got a shot at Fury Gamington. Right now, with Gamington out of the race in 35th, Nathan Stapleton has to finish in the top 5, pretty much 4th to 1st, in order to take the regular season championship. It's possible. We'll have to see if he can do it, as it's Evans, Gray, Benyacko, Voyles, Sandfer, Chris Maley, Tristen Allen, Nathan Stapleton, William Brock, and Cody Llamas. That is your top 10 as the green flag is back in the air. So looking up here towards the front, Alex Benyacko up here. So right now he's in a good position to make it into the playoffs. So Eric Sadler, who does he have to worry about? Right now he would have to worry about the 08 of Alex Gray, the 37 of Tristen Allen, that 01 of William Brock. If he got his second win of the season, he'd jump up over Eric Sadler. It's Daniel Voyles with help from Charles Sandfer, the only 2-time winner in this division so far this season. He's going to push the 26 to the front. Last night, Charles Sandfer watched his teammate Jessica Shelton get her second win of the season in a photo finish. Gotta wonder what kind of tips Shelton was able to give Charles Sandfer as he tries to become a 3-time winner this year. Who's going to lead this lap? I think it's going to be the Toyota Camry of Chris Maley. And boy, Jake Galloway forced his way to the inside of Nathan Stapleton there. They're going to be 5 wide again going into turn 1. Leaning on each other, Tristen Allen and Alex Gray. John Andrews on the apron. Hang on to her. Oh, if they could please settle it out, I would feel so much better. Oh, William Brock nearly hooked Charles Sandfer there. Oh, contact! Tristen Allen to the wall. Voyles, save it! Oh, there goes Gray! Off the nose of Benyacko, and we've got another crash. Dillon Young is spinning. Voyles is collected. Brock's in it. There's a more spinning than wrecking right now, though. Farrell is spinning, and we had another wreck. Carson Gum. Oh, and we got a big one in turn 4. Everybody's piling into this one. Oh, my goodness. As to the line, it will be Chris Maley leading. No, it will not. It'll be Jake Galloway leading. Oh, brother. Remember, we only had 10 drivers still in the race when we reached halfway last night. And we might be en route to that right now. In this one, is we've got another big wreck, and this is going to take out a lot of drivers. Carson Gum, his championship hopes up in smoke. Daniel Voyles, who was out in front just a moment ago. Done. Benny Watson, Keith Batson. There's Dillon Young on pit road. There's the car that was leading the last lap by. William Brock's out. Langland's out. And we had another wreck, I think, between Voyles and Carson Gum at the entrance to pit road. Ormond, his championship hopes, gone. Shelly's on pit road. His day is over. There's Charles Sandfer. Two-time winner, will not get a third win here tonight. Simon Salera, Fitzwater, Llamas, all these guys damaged goods at the back here. Farrell, Bloomfield, pole sitter Alex Gray, Patrick Smith. There's Alex Benyacko. He spun. He's got some left side damage, but I think he might be okay. There's some pretty significant damage on the hood of Sedale Salera. And Jake Galloway's staying out. Everybody else is coming to pit road. Well, Galloway, I think, gave up the lead to come to pit road under the last caution. This time he's not giving up the lead, but everybody else is coming to pit lane. Well, let's go back, look at the replay, and then we'll reset the playoff grid when we come back. All right, let's see where this one starts. And it looks like, yeah, Voyles came down into Alex Gray, and Tristen Allen hooks Allen up the track, and then there you see the contact down into Sandfer. Gray's going to hit the wall. I thought they might save it, but then right here, Benyacko has no time to react as the 0-8 comes down across his nose. He spins out. There's where Dillon Young gets involved. There's Caleb Farrell and William Brock getting into Daniel Voyles. So all these guys spin out. And then we're going to move up here and see what happens. Oh, wow. Nathan Stapleton just flat out hooked Sedale Salera up into Chris Maley. And then there goes Shelly straight up the track and into the wall. That was a hard hit for Shelly. There's Patrick Smith. There's Kyle Langland. And then just nobody slowing down. Sandfer comes flying in. And here comes everybody else. Rob Evans, Simon Salera, Benny Watson. And just look at that. It's just a junkyard on the apron of 3 and 4. Fitzwater flies in. Ormond, McIntire, Turner, Batson. And it's not over. It is not over. I think we got some more cars that come flying in here too, if I'm not mistaken. There's Carson Gum. I thought he went into the wreck, but he has damage already. Oh, he got spun out by Levi McIntire. This was another incident that took place further back. And, well, I mean, Carson kind of crowded Levi right there. Although Levi is also trying to get down behind Carson. Just hooks him up into the wall. You already had the wreck back behind them. You got the wreck up ahead of them. And, boy. This is looking very similar. Very, very similar to what we had in last night's race, and I think we're going to have only a handful of cars that are left to finish out this race. So, question is, who is going to be left for competition to try and snatch away that final playoff spot from Eric Sadler? We're about to find out. Getting ready to go back green? The answer is 10. There are only 12 cars still running, 10 of them on the lead lap. Green flag back in the air here on lap 12 of 26. So right now, with Alex Benyacko running up inside the top 10, he is insured. Now he is locked into the playoffs. Drivers that have a shot of taking that final spot in the playoffs away from Eric Sadler would include Oneal Balvin, who restarted 3rd, Tristen Allen, who restarted in 5th, Jordan Lopez, who restarted in 6th, Farrell, who restarted 7th. He's looking for his 2nd win of the season. And Alex Gray, who restarted in 9th. Everybody else either is not a threat or is further ahead in the point standings than Eric Sadler and already has a win. Drivers that would fit that criteria, like John Andrews, Nathan Stapleton. Alex Benyacko would also fit that criteria. And then drivers like Cody Llamas is too far down in the point standings, I believe, to be able to catch up to Eric Sadler points-wise to get one of the playoff spots. I mean, I can work the calculator and see if Llamas has a chance, but it looks like he's off the pace, so I don't think he would be a factor anyway. Jake Galloway, who's leading this race, currently comes into this event in the 39th position in points, so if he won, it would not change anything as far as the playoff grid either. We saw last night where Jessica Shelton was already locked into the playoffs, but she wanted her 2nd win of the season. You got some drivers like Stapleton and John Andrews, Alex Benyacko, who would love to be able to do the same thing at the last minute, get some extra bonus points on the playoff grid. As up front, Galloway leads. You got a Chevy leading a Toyota and a Dodge. And remember we mentioned about Nathan Stapleton? In order to take the regular season championship, he needs to finish 4th or better. Look where he's running. 4th place. Now we can show you the drivers where they retired and where they finished, as we've got 2 cars that are a lap down. Trey Wright, 11th. Levi McIntire, 12th. So no driver can finish worse than 12th here that's still running. You see all the drivers down here that finish out of the race with Bloomfield, Sedale Salera, Smith, Fitzwater, Simon Salera, Evans, Brock, Maley, Batson, Watson, Voyles, Langland, Ormond, Shelly, Sandfer, Young, Gum, Turner, Norman. And I believe those are the cars that retired out of the race from this wreck. The other ones were out due to the first caution. Cody Llamas now over 6 seconds back. I mean, if he pulls off a fuel strategy miracle, there may be a chance that he could maybe mathematically get the final spot from Eric Sadler, but he would have to win in order to do it. Let me look and see what the points gap is from Sadler back to Llamas, and it is 31 points. Now Sadler is finished out this race in the 36th position, so it is mathematically possible that Llamas could get the final spot, but he would have to win the race. And with being now 11 seconds back, doesn't look like that's going to be possible. There was McIntire. There's Trey Wright. Looks like they'll finish 11th and 12th unless something happens to our top 10. Llamas by himself. There's Benyacko. I think he's just riding. I don't know if he's necessarily going for the win. I don't think that car is up to speed enough to be able to. So I think he's just riding. He knows that right now he's in the 7th position in the playoffs. Just got to finish out this race where he's at. Farrell, he's driving for all he's worth. Won the first regular season race of the year at Daytona. Wants to win the last one. He needs a win. He is currently 27th in points. He needs a 2nd win to get back into playoff contention. Right now he's held up behind the pole sitter Alex Gray in the 7th spot. Tristen Allen has lost touch with the lead group. I don't know if that car's off the pace or not. I didn't really see him get involved in any wrecks, but not certain if he's off the pace or not. John Andrews there, already a winner this season. He's trying to get his 2nd win of the year, as is Stapleton, as they've caught Levi McIntire, the slower lap machine. They will bypass him easily. He very graciously yields to the leaders, and Galloway is on pit road. Remember, Jake Galloway is off the pit sequence with everybody else. On that last caution, everybody came to pit road, he stayed out, so he had to hit pit road a lot earlier than everyone else. And if anything to go by from last night, everybody cannot make it on fuel. I think now Galloway will be able to, but Stapleton, Andrews, Balvin, and Lopez, they will all have to hit pit lane still. Right now, Eric Sadler is the biggest Nathan Stapleton, John Andrews fan. because a win for either one of them keeps Eric Sadler in the playoffs. If Balvin wins, if Lopes wins, they both currently in 16th and 17th in the standings respectively are ahead of Eric Sadler, or not ahead, they're actually right behind him in the points, and they would jump him in the points, and the win would put them into the final playoff seed. Balvin came into this race 4 points behind his teammate. Lopes came in 9 points rather behind Eric Sadler. And both of them would like to get a bonus point for leading a lap, but Nathan Stapleton's going to get a lap led, and I don't think Fury Gamington led here tonight, so that's a bonus point for Nathan Stapleton. So I think now Stapleton just has to finish in the top 5. That extra bonus point helped him to close the gap up, and now I think if Stapleton finishes in the top 5, he's going to win the regular season championship. I mean, how amazing is it that a season turns around like that? It was looking like it was Fury Gamington's regular season championship to lose. He was over 70 points over the rest of the field a few races ago. But bad luck, DNFs, getting caught up in wrecks. Nathan Stapleton emerges with a victory last week at Riki Raceway. Jumps up from 7th to 2nd in points. 30 points back coming into this race. Gamington out of the race early. And Stapleton making a last-minute bid for the regular season championship. As Oneal Balvin gets the lead, he's got a pretty good gap at the moment between himself and what was a 3-wide battle for second. And Tristen Allen 5 seconds plus back. So, don't think he's going to be a factor in the outcome of this win. Jake Galloway has returned back to the track. He's working with the lap machine of Trey Wright at the moment, trying to get some good lap times here, hoping that he will cycle back around with this group when these drivers decide to hit pit lane. The cautions that came out here tonight were almost in exact sequence with the cautions that came out in last night's race. So if we are to believe the fuel window we saw last night, we will see these drivers hitting pit road somewhere around lap maybe 21, 22. Some might stretch to lap 23. As now Stapleton, got to be smart here. Stapleton knows that with where he's running, he'd win the regular season championship, but he also knows he'd like to win back-to-back races. Jordan Lopes, though, he wants a playoff spot, and right now Balvin is the man standing between him and that. Just think of if Oneal Balvin wins this race, snatches the final playoff position, he would be eliminating a teammate. The 11 and the 14 out of Gamington Motorsports. And there would be 2 representatives either way for Gamington Motorsports, provided that Lopes doesn't win. It would be Gamington and Sadler, or Gamington and Balvin if Balvin were to win. Jordan Lopes, no friends there on the outside line as Stapleton takes second. Andrews trying to take third, can't quite get there. John Andrews, if I remember correctly, his win this season came at Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Comes into this race 5th in the point standings as well. He was 40 points back behind Fury Gamington, but he was also 10 points behind Nathan Stapleton. So if Stapleton wasn't up here, John Andrews might have had a shot if he had won the race to take the regular season championship, but since Stapleton's up here, it's now basically between Gamington and Stapleton. As hitting the line, Oneal Balvin puts us at 5 laps to go. These drivers yet to hit pit road. This is a little bit further than the drivers in the Division 1 race were able to go. And with them staying out and in this single file formation, that is hurting Jake Galloway, who had to come to pit road by himself. I think Galloway was expecting that wasn't the last caution we were going to see, although I don't think he was banking that there'd only be 12 drivers, 10 of them on the lead lap, that would be left in this race. Balvin doing all the mirror driving he can right now. Blocking the high side with Lopes, blocking the low side with Stapleton. It's what he's got to do if he's going to win this race and get a spot in the playoffs, and here we go. They stretched it to lap 23, did Stapleton and Andrews, and the two former winners, they're going to come down pit road together. Now, if I recall correctly, yeah, last night's race, it came down to a battle of two car tandems, and it was Jessica Shelton and J.T. Bryant that were the first two to duck to pit road, and those were the two that really were the X factor in the closing stages of the race, when Jessica Shelton was able to make the move, bypass both second place and the race leader to win the event. So right now, if we were to have a mirror image here tonight based off what happened last night, right now in the catbird seat would be the 72 of Nathan Stapleton. I don't think Jordan Lopez has led tonight yet. Balvin's been able to, and Lopez still will not, as Oneal Balvin will stay out an extra lap. Lopez hits pit lane. So this makes it even better for John Andrews and Nathan Stapleton. Let's see if they managed to come off of pit road together. Oh, yeah, they did. This is very good for these two guys. And what's good for them is good for Eric Sadler. Because if either of these drivers go to victory lane, Sadler still gets into the playoffs. John Andrews is going to try and go around the outside of Nathan Stapleton. He probably is being told that this could potentially be the battle for the lead, maybe the race win. Oh, I don't think Oneal Balvin's hit pit lane just yet. No, he's still out there. Next time by, here's 2 to go. Can he make it on fuel? Will he have to pit this time? Looking at the telemetry, and he's coming to pit road. So now, where does everyone cycle around? Because when Balvin hits the line, it's 2 laps to go. Lopez left pit lane. There he is. There's Stapleton, there's Andrews. They're closing in on him. This is right now would be the battle for second. Balvin on pit lane. Andrews is going to bypass Stapleton. That would be unofficially for third. As they begin to close in on the 45, McIntire has to come to pit road. Balvin leaving right now. What kind of a gap is he going to have over the 45? Cody Llamas is going to get around him. Llamas right now is a lap down. This will put him back on the tail end of the lead lap. Here's Lopez. Andrews and Stapleton not too far back as Balvin still on the apron. Lopez up to speed, 189 miles per hour. Balvin just now hitting 160. Oh, this is going to be close. Because when they hit the line this next time by, it's the white flag. This is for all the marbles. Does Lopez have enough momentum to get up to Balvin? This is for a spot in the playoffs between these two. Andrews and Stapleton, I don't know if they're going to have enough time to catch up or not. As this time by, Balvin will see the white flag. It's going to be just like last night. Lopez closing the gap up quick, but Andrews and Stapleton are within striking distance as well. Here we go. White flag in the air. One more lap to go. Here comes Lopez. Swinging to the outside. He's going to get to the outside of him here in turn 1. Watch on the left side of your screen. Watch for the 57 and the 72. They're going to make a charge down the back straightaway as it's side by side between Balvin and Lopez. For the lead, for the win, for a playoff spot. Stapleton now third. Does he have enough speed to get down here into these and get these guys? Slow car of Llamas. Where's he going to go? He's going to block the top side. He's going to block and Balvin's going to get by. Balvin's going to get the spot. Balvin's going to get the lead. Balvin's going to get a playoff spot. Oneal Balvin out of turn 4 for the final time. He'll pick up his first checkered flag of the season. He takes out his teammate from the playoffs and will get the final seed in the chase for the championship. Eric Sadler out, Oneal Balvin in. In the final regular season race tonight at Orlando. Lopez had a shot but the slow car of Cody Llamas had to pick a lane, yielded the outside lane to the race leader, and Lopes was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And by that much is going to miss out on a spot in this season's chase for the championship. And Oneal Balvin, it will be 2 drivers out of Gamington Motorsports that will be in the chase for the championship here in Division 2. But it will not be the 2 we were originally thinking. Instead of Gamington and Sadler, it will be Gamington and Balvin. And we now have set in stone the 8 drivers here for Division 2 that will battle for the championship. They will be Charles Sandfer, Fury Gamington, Nathan Stapleton, Jeff Scott, John Andrews, Keith Batson, Alex Benyacko, and Oneal Balvin. Our 16 drivers are set in this season's chase for the championship, and now the playoffs will begin. 5 races, 16 drivers, every race an elimination in each division. 8 drivers will remain in the season finale to battle it out for the title. There you see the finishing results. All the finishing results down here have no bearing on who ends up coming away with the playoff position, but they do have bearing with who wins the regular season championship. Fury Gamington finishes in 35th. Stapleton led a lap. With that being said, he needed to finish in the 5th position or better. He finished in 4th. Nathan Stapleton, by I believe 2 points, is going to be your regular season champion. How about that for a last-ditch effort? Man, I'm lost for words. I'm almost at loss for voice. But what a regular season finale weekend it has been here at Orlando. Yes, we had a lot of drivers finish out of the race, but that doesn't mean that these finishes weren't any more or any less exciting. And boy, we had some interesting finishes, and we now have our playoff grids. So thank you all for tuning in to tonight's event. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We have shown you full finish results. These are your overall point standings, and now your official updated playoff grid with your Division 1 and Division 2 drivers. Wow. Can't wait to find out where we're going to be going for our 5 playoff races. Those are still yet to be determined. They will be tracks we have been to already this season. But the question is, which 5 will they be? Random.org is actually going to be the decider for that. But after race 1, we will be down from 16 to 14. After race 2, from 14 to 12. After race 3, from 12 down to 10. And after race 4, we head into the finale with 8 drivers remaining. The top 4 in Division 1, the top 4 in Division 2. Best finisher of the finale wins the championship. I will see you guys next week as the playoffs begin here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Offline racing at its best.